It's the Orioles on Masson as the O's conclude this three-game set against the Indians with a chance to take this series if they can come away with a victory after a heartbreaking, devastating loss last night. They'll have plenty of future pro baseball players here to cheer for them the second Little League day as the players by the thousands paraded around the field. Orioles there to greet them. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and a good Sunday to you. And for the Orioles, they hope it will be a good Sunday as they look to rebound from last night. David Hernandez, the scheduled starter. He's had a problem with his shoulder over the last week. The decision, not pitch him today, but don't put him on the DL. So the Orioles go to the left-hander, who has been a swingman as a starter. We will see on the mound Mark Hendrickson. As a starter, those are his career numbers. As a reliever, much better. That's why he's been in that role. Take a look at the numbers against left-handers. 364, while Cleveland hitting left-handers just 215. And they were stymied last night by Bryan, at least for the first 8 innings of the ball game. So, Jim, quick change in the starter.
Yeah, it really is. And, I mean, Mark can pitch. He's got a good change-up. That will be the key today. He's throw 88, 89. I think that the important number, not only the batting average, because Cleveland struggles against left-handers, but of the 20 home runs they've hit, they only have 3 against left-handers. And if you look back at the home runs yesterday, that made the difference in the game. The big home run off of Simone by Austin Kern, and then the added home run by Trevor Crowe, who was called up yesterday and played a nice game for him. So Hendrickson, and I think Dave Tremblay said it best, keep him in the game. Hope that your team will score some runs off of Jake Westbrook, who, because of Tommy John, he hadn't won a game in 2 years.
All right, and we're going to have Ty Wigginton back in the lineup again. Wigginton has provided the power and the offense with a couple of home runs that he hit in the ball game last night. He leads the O's now with 12, already surpassing the home run total that he had last year. His third multi-homer game and the 12th of his career in the ball game last night. Wigginton will get another shot at it today, and the Little Leaguers, they're loving every minute of it. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Orioles will try and win their third consecutive series here at home this year if they can come away with a victory. Let's take a look at our train game time temperature. 70 degrees. Some haze around, but generally a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Visit trainsearch.com to locate an independent train dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Indians in this one, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Cabrera, Sizemore, and Chu, Kearns, Branyan, and Peralta, Grudzielanek, Laporta, and Marson. With Matt Laporta here at Camden Yards, a .348 career number.
Take a look at our scouting report on the 6'9" left-hander. Will turn 36 later on in the summer. First start of the year. Last year as a starter was 2-5, much better out of the bullpen. There are the numbers we showed you in the opening. Out of the pen a little bit more, I guess probably because they don't get to match up as much. And then against the Indians, they have struggled against left-handed pitching. So again, he's got 88 to 90, 89 mile per hour fastball, big overhand curveball, and again he's got great angles, throws downhill when he's pitching well, and hopefully that's what he'll do today.
David Hernandez will watch the ball game. The scheduled starter, looking for his first win of the year, is going to have to wait. Dave Tremblay saying before the game, not putting him on the DL. He's expected to only miss this with a shoulder that's bothered him. He did come out to greet little leaguers as they paraded around the field, and I was looking to make sure he was only doing the low five with his left hand, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, they say it's actually in the bicep part of the arm, and there's the long head, which can be give you a little bit of pain there. So hopefully that'll quiet down. And Dave was talking about Dave Tremblay. He was very happy that he actually came to him and told him instead of trying to pitch through it.
So the Indians, who are 5-6 against left-handers, have that second lowest batting average in the league against left-handed pitchers, face the Orioles left-hander, and Cabrera will take it for a strike. Cabrera's been held to only one hit in this series. He's 1 for 9, still batting at .290. 6 doubles, a home run, and 7 RBIs for the leadoff batter. 0-1 delivery, again bunting, and he hits a base hit if it's fair. Foul ball. That was close.
Oh, yeah. Well, perfect bunt. The only thing imperfect about it was that it rolled foul. And if you look kind of down right about here, there's a little bit, it looks like the grass is tapered, and then right there, it kicks that grass and then get it. And he did. All you can do if you're Miguel Tejada or you're Mark Hendrickson is just watch it and hope it goes foul.
Tejada had been in on the first pitch. He showed bunt, didn't believe him, and backed up. Now with a 2-strike count, he can back up all the way. Cabrera 0 for 2 lifetime off the Orioles starter. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him, and we'll take it inside. Orioles obviously would really like to rebound. It was a devastating loss last night with that shutout going into the 9th inning, and then the implosion of the bullpen and Simone's first blown save, and the Indians picked up a very big run. So today you just want to get rid of that, wipe it off the board. Simone's available again today to pitch if there's another close situation, which the Orioles hope there won't be, because they'll be ahead by that many runs. It won't be necessary. 2-2 delivery, ground ball to the middle, and Cabrera's got another one of those worm-eating singles.
Take a look at the way Mark Hendrickson rips his pitches. And again, there's your 2-seam fastball, fingers right along the seams. A pretty conventional 4-seamers. You get the backspin, a little more hopefully left. Big curveball, we've already seen that. And then the cutter that he'll use into the righties, and then the changeup. To me, it's probably his second best pitch, but his first best off-speed pitch.
Here's Grady Sizemore. Of all the Indians who have struggled against lefties, none more so than Sizemore. A 106 average off left-handers. He's 5 for 47. 266 off righties. So they'll play for bunt here. Tejada's in even with a bag at third. Atkins holding the bag on Cabrera.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be bunting, but now he moves back at third. They're hoping that Sizemore and Grady starts to hit home runs. I imagine he's probably hoping too, without trying to do it.
Hasn't had one yet this year. He's got power.
Yeah, I would think right here, because his ability, and you talk to Rick Manning, former Indian, now doing television. He said Sizemore, when he hits the ball the other way, he stays on it, but he's pretty much a pull hitter.
Off-speed breaking ball, and he had to literally hold up on his swing on that and start it all over again. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. There's that changeup Jim was talking about that'll keep hitters off balance. 1-2. Cabrera back to first base. Here in this ballpark for Mark Hendrickson, his record is 5-3 at Camden Yards. He's got a 4.08 ERA. This is the 14th start that Hendrickson has made here in this ballpark. Only shutout he's ever pitched came here against Tampa Bay back in 06. Lob toss over to first base to get Cabrera back.
Yeah, you look at Sizemore. He's got 26 hits this year, 2 to left field, 12 to center, 12 to right. And this is the ideal situation, not ideal because it's 1-2, but a situation where you can, with Cabrera being held on, hit a ball by the first baseman into right field.
1-2. Hendrickson again trying to hold Cabrera over there and set the double play up. Sizemore taking long looks down to third to see whether or not the runner might be going. Steve Smith with the signs down there. There he is. And he acts as third base coach. Sandy Alomar Jr. at first. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and the breaking ball will miss down low. The Orioles have to figure that the bullpen's going to come into play today. I mean, the hope is Mark Hendrickson can go deep in the ball game, but it is his first start. He's been working out of the pen only in a couple innings at the longest, generally only an inning. So for Hendrickson today, it's just see what you got.
Yeah, and go as long and as hard as you can, and take your chances.
2-ball, 2-strike count to Sizemore, and he'll rattle that one into the glove. Atkins to second. That's going to go into left field, but Patterson backs it up. So no damage done on the throw. Sizemore retired on a fine play by Atkins with a glove.
Yeah, he's kind of breaking off the bag. You can see him right there, and then he kind of lunges back and tags the bag, and then the snap throw. Heads up play by Patterson. You can see that Lugo is going to try to get it. Take the sure out. There it is, and then the ball tails right into the runner. I'm surprised Cabrera didn't get hit, and there he's thinking about going to third, but Corey Patterson in to back it up.
Well, they get the out at first. It does move the runner down to second. Cabrera for Sin-Soo Choo. Choo's had a 2 for 7 in the series. The 8th best number with runners in scoring position in the American League, hitting .379. Cleveland gets the RBI opportunity first here.
And this is the Indians' version of Nick Markakis. He can do everything well.
1-0 delivery to him, and Choo will pop that one up in the air, center field. Runner playing it halfway. Jones will put it away. Choo's retired, 2 down.
Take a look at the Oriole defense behind Mark Hendrickson today. Patterson, Jones, Markakis, very, very mobile outfield. Tejada, Lugo takes over for his first, at least early on. Wigington, Atkins over at first base. Ryan Hughes sent down to Norfolk. He'll probably be playing a lot of first base. And then the backup catcher, Craig Tatum. He will be behind the plate. Good catch and throw guy.
Austin Kearns, part of the big 9th inning, as he delivered his 3rd home run of the year, a 3 RBI homer in the ball game last night. Part of an 8-run, 6-hit 9th. Runner at second base, 2 down now. Kearns. And the big cut. Here's the shot last night.
And it's on an 0-2 pitch. Throws a couple of fastballs by him. Hangs a splitter at 86 miles per hour, about 11 miles per hour faster, or excuse me, slower than his fastball. And Kearns, a huge home run for the Indians. Turn that game around in a hurry.
He's got a 7-game hit streak coming into this ball game. 0-1 delivery. That inning last night is only the 2nd time in 30 years that a team has scored 8 or more runs in the 9th inning after they had been shut out for the first 8. Ironically, it happened against Cleveland in '83 by Oakland, and Philadelphia did it against Florida in '05, and then Cleveland did it last night. Runners going, and strike 3 called. So Hendrickson works his way out of that one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. The Let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Orioles, Patterson, Jones, and Markakis, Tejada, Wigginton, and Scott, Atkins, Tatum, and Lugo. 12 home runs this season, one better than all last year for Wigginton.
32-year-old Jake Westbrook. He got his first win since 2008. Sinker, changeup. Righties are hitting him better than lefties because he's got a sinker and a changeup, very much like Mitch Talbot did last night, that he can match up with the lefties. So come on, right-handers. We saw Wigginton hit a couple of home runs off of Talbot last night.
Corey Patterson held without a hit last night for the first time since coming up. He's had a 3 for 8, though, in this series, and Corey now with 6 hits in 17 at bats, anchoring the left field spot, and more importantly for the Orioles, the leadoff spot. 0-2 count. Patterson, Jones, and Markakis here in the first inning against Jake Westbrook. And Patterson will lift that one foul. Westbrook has not pitched against the Orioles since 2007. His lifetime mark, 3 wins, 2 losses. He's had 8 games against the Orioles, 7 starts. This is his 8th start. Patterson, the 0-2 delivery, and strike 3 called.
Take a look at the defense. Westbrook, a sinker baller. Take a look at this ball run back. Little Greg Maddox right there. Kevin Millwood. You know, the defense behind him, and he'll throw a lot of ground balls, so you better be ready. And when he's pitching well, he'll throw a lot of strikes. There it is. Kern, Sizemore, Chu. They can go get him in the outfield. Peralta, Cabrera, Ruzalanek at second base. Brandon, we saw him the first game here on Friday night, and then Lou Marston has done a nice job behind the plate for the Indians.
And Adam Jones will take the pitch for a strike. Jones with a 3 for 8 in this series as Adams' bat has come alive and working that average back up. He's hit safely in 7 of the last 8 at a .355 clip, and he bunts for a base hit, and he's got it. Peralta really did not have a chance on that, and Jones gets the single.
Yeah, when you're not hitting home runs, and that's a good thing in a sense, because Adam has been using the whole field. If they're going to give you the bunt, take it. Because the next time they will not be playing back. I can guarantee you that, unless there's 2 outs and they get 2 strikes on Adam Jones. It really sets up the rest of the at-bats for the afternoon.
Adam gets on with a base hit off Westbrook and Nick Markakis. Nick comes in with a 5-game hit streak, getting back over that 300 mark average-wise. And will take the pitch outside for a ball. Well, the Orioles got a chance here in the first inning.
And don't think that the Kansas City scouts, as the Kansas Royals will come in for a couple of games, and even Texas where they'll go, and even Washington will say, hey, Jones will bunt now. And that's what you want.
1-0 delivery on the way. Markakis takes it away. Nick has hit in 27 of the 37 games that the Orioles have played this season. Despite the slow start, he's had 9 multi-hit games. Jones on at first, 2-0 count. Markakis trying to go to left, fouls it away, 2-1.
Well, that's that running sinker. It's going to be somewhere between 89 and 94. The changeup to go with it. We've already seen a couple of sliders to Corey Patterson to lead off the game. Everybody I talked to said that coming off Tommy John surgery, he said the velocity's back, that the location sometimes can wander. So we'll see if that's the case.
2-ball, 1 strike count. Westbrook, Jones dancing over there and drawing his attention, as Adams been walking that lead off a little bit. Only 1 stolen base and 4 chances for Jones. Marston throwing out a couple the other night.
Yeah, he can really throw behind the plate.
2-ball, 1 strike count. And that one inside, just a long foul ball. 2-2. Orioles have won 6 out of their last 8 here at home. On the homestand now, they're 3-2, with Kansas City coming in Monday and Tuesday for the final 2 games of this homestand. Well, the Orioles have picked the pace up, and actually this homestand, the team's hitting .284. Trouble is the team ERA is 4. And that will be a big strikeout as Westbrook gets it.
All our keys to the game: sink it, and then the changeup. And there it is. Just turns it over. Really kind of stays inside, but look at the ball go down. And the spin is similar to his sinker. So again, the change of speed and the movement gets Nick Markakis.
Now Miguel Tejada. Tejada's got the best number against Westbrook in his career. 379 hitter off this right-hander, and he keeps it up. Jones will make the turn. Not going to go to third, though, as Chu. He's got a good arm. Gets it back in. And Tejada's on. 2 on, 2 out.
It looked pretty simple, didn't it? I always talk about with a man on first how left-handers have an advantage. The thing about Miguel Tejada, he can go to right field with the best of them.
So Westbrook's going to have to work a little harder here because Ty Wigginton's coming up. Wigginton now second in home runs in the league and has taken over the #1 spot in slugging, ahead of Paul Konerko, Justin Morneau, and Miguel Cabrera, the #1 slugging percentage in the league. He's 1 behind Konerko for the home run lead. Konerko with 13 and Wigginton's got 12. And if he keeps hitting this way when Roberts comes back, he may be at first base. You see the American League numbers at first base. 250 average, 5+ homers a game. The Orioles do not have a home run there, only 232. And there's Wigginton playing second. And when Brian gets back in June, he's probably going to need a place to go. It's interesting, the discussion's going on now. I mean, you could have a really revised Orioles infield. Torres is not hitting at all. Do you take a look at Bell in the minors about calling him up? Do you think about moving Tejada back to short when Brian is back? Have Wigginton, Roberts, Tejada, and Bell in the infield?
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I think there's discussion going on about that. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery, and that one in the air to right center field. Sizemore going, and makes an outstanding catch. The Gold Glover in center hauls it in and denies Wigginton a couple of RBIs. That will end the inning after 1 no score.
They believe he will just miss 1 start, but Hernandez told me he's been pitching through the pain in his shoulder for about 2 weeks, and after his last start against Seattle, he knew he needed to tell the Orioles. That day, they started treatment. He will continue his treatment, but he wanted to tell everybody out there that he didn't feel like at all his soreness affected his start. Scary.
And as Dave Tremblay said, happy that he told him. Branyan goes after the first pitch and grounds out of there, so Alberto Castillo is back, the left-hander, to give the Orioles another lefty in the bullpen. With Mark Hendrickson starting, they would have had nobody but Will Ullman, who's been used extensively, so they wanted to have another lefty option. So Castillo called up and Ryan Hughes sent down after the ball game.
Yeah, you get a matchup guy when you bring up Alberto. What did Rock Cabato in the opening say? Don't even know if he ever left. just kind of hides in the back of the room of the locker room. He's been up and down so much the last 2 years.
There he is. He's ready to go. 0-1 count. Johnny Peralta. Peralta with a 5-game hit streak. He's had a 2 for 8 in this series. Good road trip for him. 7 for 21. Fouls that back.
So again, if you're Mark Hendrickson, you want to be efficient. And again, when he's pitching well, I mean, it's almost like he throws darts because he can command both sides of the plate. Seen the big overhand curveball, but that changeup so effective to right-handers.
0-2 count. Peralta 4 for 10 off Hendrickson. And the pitch is inside. For Ryan Hughes, who was sent down after the game last night, how quickly it turns. He came up first 3 games, 5 for 13, double, 3 RBIs. Then the scouter reports came in 5 for 34 with a double and an RBI and a 147. It is so tough. So often you see, especially young players, he's not young, he's 26, but still at the major league level young. You come up, you get the first few at bats, nobody knows who you are, you get hit, you look great. And then as soon as the phones start ringing from the scouts, you have to adjust, and if you don't, you're in trouble.
Yeah, for him, he just couldn't quite get to the fastball and didn't drive the ball like I thought they thought he would. There's that changeup. There you go. I mean, are you waving at me? I mean, that's the kind of swing that changeup can produce. And again, you have to remember what the last pitch was. He ran a fastball in on his fist and then runs this one down and away. The good changeup looks like your fastball and just turns it over way out in front.
Couple of strikeouts in the ball game for Mark Hendrickson. That will bring up Grudzielanek. Grudzielanek got a 5-game hit streak going. Added to it with a 2 for 4 in this series so far. He'll take it for a strike. It's interesting in this ball game. You've got Grudzielanek and Austin Kearns, both of whom were signed to minor league contracts and invited to spring training, and now both have been major contributors to this team. Markakis will get over on this one. And Grudzielanek retired. 1-2-3 inning for Mark Hendrickson. Coming back, Scott, Atkins, and Tatum do up. Orioles looking for their 8th win at home. They are 7-10 at home so far. The Indians 8-12 on the road. We come into this Sunday. Tampa Bay continuing to lead the division. The Yankees are a game out. Toronto 4. Boston 6.5, and the Orioles 13.5. Luke Scott leads it off. Ground ball to the hole, and he's got a base hit. So Scott is the DH, a leadoff single here in the 2nd inning. We're looking at some numbers just to show how much the two leagues have grown closer together. this year more than ever. A 1-point difference in average, runs per game almost identical. Ironically, the National League leads in home runs, and the DH average compared to the pitchers of the National League, just for fun. But it's interesting, it's not that far away. But that ERA Jim was looking at, that's where the telltale story is.
Well, I just think that that tells you with the DH, where the league average is usually about a third to maybe 4/10 of a run higher, how good the pitching is in the American League. And all you got to do is look at some of the numbers.
The American League pitching has caught up. The National League hitting has gone up. And there's not much difference anymore. Those big differentials that we used to see with runs and ERAs and homers, with the offense favoring the American League and defense and pitching favoring the National, just isn't there anymore.
Yeah, I think also with the testing for steroids and all that, I think you've gotten away from, not that home runs, we saw that last night, can win and lose ball games, but I just think it changed. I think defense and pitching and making sure that you have as solid a staff. We see that in Tampa Bay. I mean, look at all the young pitchers they've developed. In fact, we saw one of them last night, Mitch Talbot, that they got in a trade. How well he pitched. They traded him to the Indians last year to
Atkins will take the pitch. Atkins a 1 for 3 in this series. He seemingly has gotten things turned around a little bit, at least at the plate this month, hitting .313. Still looking for the long ball.
Well, got the double last night, and there's a good breaking ball that he just swings over. Just have not seen the ability to drive the ball, and I think that's what the Orioles were hoping for. And one thing about Westbrook, and we saw it, he's going to get his hits, but if you get Luke Scott to bounce one to the left side, that's pretty much what you want in a sense, because you're taking away the possibility of hitting a home run. And then right there, a guy that last night hit a double off missed a home run by a foot. It would have been his first. He makes a great pitch and gets to swing through it.
Craig Tatum making his 4th start behind the plate. Not had a bat in this series, and obviously with a limited playing time has had very few overall. Only his 9th game, 17 at bats, 1 RBI, 1 single. He's got a runner at first with 1 down. Looking down to Juan Samuel at third base. Westbrook, and that will miss down low, and the count goes to 2-0.
Yeah, well, let's see what he can do right here in the hitter's count. He made the ball club because Chad Moeller just did not throw well. I think everybody realized that Moeller, from what they saw, had a pretty good spring hitting. That Craig was going to be a better catch and throw guy, and with a young pitching staff, with Wieters catching most of the time, it made sense. So again, if you're not going to play much, and you never really assume this, you really have to use the whole field. I mean, to try to hit home runs when you're not getting a lot of at bats is very tough to do.
It's got a 2-0 count here. That one hit hard, and a base hit into left field. So Tatum gets a single, 2 on, 1 down with Lugo coming up. Your Orioles wrap up the homestand tomorrow and Tuesday. 2-game series against the Royals. Hope you'll get out, bring family and friends, enjoy a night at the Yard. Tickets in advance for tomorrow's game start as low as $9. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. Kansas City Royals will have Kyle Davies starting against the Orioles' Brad Bergeson tomorrow. Kevin Millwood will look for that first win of the season again against Zach Greinke, who got his first win in his last outing in the Tuesday matchup. Julio Lugo, he has seen Westbrook a few times, 6 for 27 off him. Lugo getting the start in place of his Torres at short. 6th start at shortstop for Lugo. 2 on, 1 out.
2 for 15 with runners in scoring position. 3 for 31 against right-handers. He wants Westbrook to throw with the other arm.
Pitch down and away again, 1-1.
That's not going to happen.
What a comeback for Jake Westbrook. He's coming off the surgery. He signed a new 3-year deal. 5 starts in 08. Did not pitch last year. He got a win in his last outing, his first major league win since April of 2008. An 8-2 victory against Kansas City. And now back in the rotation. Timeout taken at the plate.
And the reason they gave him that deal was because 2005, 2006, he won 15 games each year for him. Durable, around 200 innings. But you can see right there what he does so well is sink the ball.
30 wins, 38 losses in his career. And Westbrook trying to get that ground ball for a double play right here. Scott the lead runner and Tatum on at first base. Lugo with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And a chopper to second. Rutsalanek's going to go to first. Now you got to tag somebody and they can't do it.
Oh,
heads up base running by Tatum.
Well, once you see that, just take the out at second. So the nice base running by Craig Tatum. He's a catcher. You don't anticipate this, but heads up right here. You don't want to get the double play. And Mark should have just turned around and at least got the lead runner. So you would have had the first and third situation. Now a base hit gives you 2 runs.
But Solanek not happy with himself. He knows he did not play that one correctly. The veteran at second. And Corey Patterson will try and make him pay for it. Patterson 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Struck out his first time up. 2 down, 2 on. Patterson will take it up high for a ball. So a big Orioles chance now. Try and take advantage of a miscue in the field and get a couple of runs. Scoreless ball game in the second. Westbrook 1-0 delivery. Not one of the better cuts Corey probably has ever taken.
No, but that does tell you how difficult when a pitcher has a good changeup it is to read. We're sitting here, you're sitting at home going, how do you swing at that? Well, he got fooled. And he got fooled because of the arm speed. You just don't pick it up with some pitchers. And it's about 10 miles per hour slower. So he gets you with movement and change of speed.
1-1 delivery on the way up high. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Patterson with the advantage. The lefties 213. Off Westbrook. Right-handers 333. All 4 home runs he's given up to the righties. Scott, Tatum, their leads. 2-1 delivery and another one away. 2-2. Westbrook, he's working like this, can get you talking to yourself.
Well, the Orioles saw a little bit of this last night from the rookie Mitch Talbot. Had a great changeup, made a mistake to Wigington, but let that ball just run away.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss.
Yeah, see, there's the third changeup, and Corey made a nice adjustment, picked that one up.
Down goes to 3-2. 3-2, 2 down. Orioles looking for an early big hit to get on the board, getting only 2 runs in the ball game last night. 3-2 delivery, got him. He just stayed with it. So Westbrook with 4 strikeouts, no runs, couple of hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Who holds the Indians record for batting average in a season? Hint, he was a rookie. You can tell by the immediate answer that both of us are ready, willing, and able.
Lou Boudreau.
Lou Boudreau is the answer?
No, it's my answer.
Oh. You don't sell this well.
No, because I have no idea who really is, but I'm just going.
Laporte is retired on one pitch. All right. What's the answer to show we're wrong again? Shoeless Joe.
Yeah. That guy.
We knew that.
That's
1911, 408. I tried to get a ticket for that game. They're sold out. I missed that. Should Joe be in the
411? Well, you know, it's kind of interesting when because of the Black Sox scandal is that he hit, what, 376 in the World Series? And then some of his teammates were accused of throwing games, and they were banned from baseball, and Shoeless Joe was one of them. Certainly didn't affect his performance.
No.
Maybe just.
Well, a lot of them said, I mean, in a number of the stories, that they in fact, they tried even harder because of what had happened and the fact that they'd gotten involved in that gambling. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that'll be fouled off down the line by Marson. Now, the other one I wished I'd been at was this one. 1965, this date, 19-year-old Jim Palmer defeated the Yankees to win his first Major League game and got his first Major League home run. And he hit it off.
Jim Bowden?
Yes, you're right. See, I knew you'd
get that. Came in relief. Well, yeah, that is Joe Garagiola was doing the radio for the Yankees, and I came in relief, and about 25 years later, when I was doing the Bob Costas show, they actually ran the radio transcript of it, and it was a bunt situation. At least that's what Joe thought, and you know, he has Pepitone creeping in at first and Boyer coming in at third.
That one to short and a base hit.
And I hit this fly ball to right center field, and he said 19-year-old Jim Palmer was just homered over the right center field fence. Clete Boyer was so close to home plate that if Palmer had pulled that ball, they would have had to pick him up with a spatula. Typical Joe Garagiola. And I didn't hear it for another 25 years.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Well, it was good because we won.
Well, yeah.
In fact, I saw Bill Stetka, and he said they don't have film going back that far.
Know. We look for it.
But they have Louis Aparicio, who was our leadoff hitter, congratulating me at home plate.
In a picture?
Yep, in a picture.
That is outside. Cabrera, runner at first, singled his first time up. Marson on at first base with a base hit.
And that was a series where Bobby Mercer was playing center field for the Yankees, and one of the infielders, I don't know if it was Ruben Amaro, he got hurt, and then Bobby had to come in and play shortstop. Played shortstop for the first couple of months of that season.
All kinds of new things going on in that series.
Yeah.
How many innings did you pitch?
That I don't really recall.
Yeah.
I was a long reliever,
yeah.
When I first came up, and then got some spot starts. Of course, the bullpen, we had Harvey Haddix and Stu Miller and Dick Hall, people like that. Some very, very sage veteran pitchers.
That'll be in the dirt. Tatum with a good stop and a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Charlie Lau was a backup catcher who would go on to be one of the best hitting instructors. We had John Orsino, who actually made a decision: am I going to play baseball coming out of New Jersey, or am I going to be the drummer for Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons? Big mistake.
Big mistake.
He chose baseball.
Yeah. He'd still be on tour if he'd taken the other job.
Now a golf pro, I think, at Indian River JC or something down in Florida.
2-1, slow chopper, only play at first. Had a barehanded running throw. Nice play. Knew he had time and got it done.
Yeah, Miguel still learning how to play third, coming in fast, and probably could have gloved it, but he doesn't. But he makes the play. That's the important thing. And then you never have to worry about his arm strength.
Now the RBI chance in the scoreless ball game will go to Sizemore, grounded out on a nice play made by Atkins on a hard hit ball to first. His first time up. Sizemore, see the struggles that he has gone through, and 250 with runners in scoring positions. Not the best offensive number going for him right now. 2 down. And the off-speed breaking ball will miss, ball 1. Sizemore is making the start in center. The Gold Glover has already made the big defensive play of the game on the Wigginton.
Well, the elbow surgery, and Gary, as you know, injury sometimes it just changes your swing a little bit. Maybe don't have quite as much extension.
That one's extended to center. Jones is going to have time at the plate, and they're going to hold him up. No, he came through the stop sign and will score. Marson was being held up at third. Steve Smith had the stop sign up, but he kept right on coming. And the Indians get a 1-0 lead because he did.
Well, a couple of things. What kind of lead do you get? Do you have pretty good speed? Marson does all that. Look, you can see in the top of your screen right there, he's off and running, and then Adam Jones is not going to make a great throw. It's offline. Look how offline it is. And that's why Garrett Atkins cuts it. But again, maybe sometimes you have a better sense. You force Adam to make a good throw. He doesn't make it, and then Sizemore does something that he hasn't been doing, which is getting hits off left-handers.
13th RBI of the season for Sizemore. Here's Chu.
And don't think that Manny Acta didn't look at the numbers of what lefties are hitting off of Mark Hendrickson. That's why he's never been a matchup guy. He's not real deceptive. I mean, he's over the top. So if you are a left-hander, he doesn't deceive you as much as some other guys.
1-0 delivery on the way. I went in to see Manny this morning with a pitching change, and I looked at his lineup and I said, are you going to stay with this, or are you going to make some changes before I write it down? He said, oh no. And he knew I was talking about Sizemore. He said, oh no, we're staying right where we are.
And don't you think that if they're going to win, Grady Sizemore has to start playing and get the opportunity?
Yep.
I mean, this is not like this team thinks they're going to contend this year. They certainly would like to get to 500 and move on from there. But he's an integral part because he can do so many things. And we already saw them robbing Whittington. He saved him 2 runs back in the first inning.
Well, Sizemore's in every day. 1 ball. 1 strike count. Chu flied to center. And that one through the middle hit the mound. Wigginton at second base to force out to Lugo. But a run in on a couple of hits with a base runner left on. Jones, Markakis, and Tejada. Sunday afternoon baseball to wrap up this series, and this is the rubber match. The Orioles losing in the ball game last night by a score of 8-2 after they had an 8-1 win in the opener. And this one, a 1-0 Indians lead in the 3rd inning. Jake Westbrook. Adam Jones takes it for a strike. Jones singled his first time up, raising his average from 218 to 245 over the last 8 games. Adam Jones fouls that one away.
Yeah, it's amazing because his arm strength's there, but it's usually been command issues. Usually you would reverse it with a sinker ball pitcher, but that has not been the case for Jake Westbrook.
Yeah. We're in the third. Let's see what happens. He gets a strikeout, and that is number 5 in the ball game.
Well, I went through some arms injuries early in my career, and I'll tell you right now, I mean, right here, look at this, just a great slider, and this is how they try to get Adams Jones out. Try to get ahead of him and then get him to expand the strike zone by swinging at a ball. And when he's hitting well, he takes that pitch, and when he's struggling, he will not do it. But when you get hurt and then you get a chance to come back and you've had some success as Westbrook has, this is what it's all about, just being out there. And you're going to try to figure out somehow to get deep into the game and give your team a chance to win it. It's really pretty much what pitching's all about, whether you're young or old, injured or not.
Markakis 9 irons that one to Gritzelani. And a couple of quick outs. On Tuesday, May 25, don't miss Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All upper reserve seats, only $8. The game against the A's. Gather the family, friends, come on out and catch a game. Orioles 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. Ollie's Bargain Night. Couple of notes around baseball. Tampa Bay, Pat Burrell's been designated for assignment, and Hank Blaylock's been signed. So he's going to be with Tampa Bay. I think that's a pretty darn good pickup. Pat Burrell just has not been able to get it going, not last year and not this year. David Ortiz has gotten it going after hitting 143 with a home run and 4 RBIs in April. He's hitting 333 in May with 5 homers and 11 RBIs. Terry Francona doesn't have to answer the questions anymore.
And as far as Blaylock, they sent him, you know, he had that opt-out, I guess, what, about the 15th of May? He went down, hit 349 with 4 home runs, bunch of RBIs, and you know, another guy's not doing the job, and you're in first place. Sometimes you just have to eat a contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you have to realize, and it's a tough decision, especially when it's like $9 million of $72 million payroll. You got to move on.
I think Blaylock will really help them. Grounded down to third. That's going to be a foul ball. 2 down, nobody on here in the third. Todd had a single his first time up. Mark Teixeira's done it again, too. April's never his month. He hit 136. 2 home runs, 9 RBIs in April. Teixeira now in May. 321, 4 homers, and 17 RBIs. Grounded down to first base, diving unnecessarily, Brennan, but he gets it anyway. And Tejada's retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Jake Westbrook. We've completed 3 here at Camden Yards. Season. My favorite times of the year. Austin Kearns. Kearns struck out, 7-game hit streak, 1 for 6 in the series, and he will take that one for a strike. Mark Hendrickson, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Jay Westbrook, no walks and 5 strikeouts. 1 run, 3 hits for the Indians. No runs, 4 hits for the O's. Back to the pitcher.
Nice pitch right there. Another changeup. Then you field your position. All 6-9 of them. Beck moved just up the road from Baltimore into York, Pennsylvania. Hails from Washington, Mount Vernon, Washington. But one of 12 players that played in the NBA and Major League Baseball. I think the first one I remember was Gene Conley, who a pitcher and also played with the Celtics.
Yep. That one down to first base. Looks like getaway day. Ryan goes to the ground ball. Atkins, and there are 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Well said. It's kind of like we used to go over to Fort Myers and play Kansas City in spring training, and they all wanted to go to the movies, go play golf, do whatever they're going to do. They'd swing at the first pitch, and you just knew when the season started it would be totally different.
Yeah. 2 down here.
Well, you think it might have something to do with both of these pitchers throwing strikes too?
If you're going to get one first time, might as well go after it. Peralta does. Jones is there, and he's got it. There's a 4-pitch inning for Mark Hendrickson. Retires the side in order. Cleveland still leads at 1-0.
Now, we looked it up. He's only played first base one other game in his entire career. It was in 2005 in Aberdeen. He did take ground balls there in spring training, though, Gary. So, interesting news out of Norfolk.
Yeah, that's interesting, Amber. I mean, I think there's a lot going on right now as far as taking a look at what might be done to make the Orioles a better ball club. That ball's got to be to right field. Certainly one of the things. And bobbled on his way to second. And out! Sin-Soo Choo.
Well, we told you he was the Indians' version of Nick Markakis. And you just saw why. He knocks it down and keeps it in front of him. I mean, that's huge right there. And then if you're going to run on him, I mean, we're talking about a guy about a year and a half away from Tommy John on the money. And Wigginton doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Force him to make a perfect throw, which he does. Something that Adam Jones couldn't do when they tried to score on a crisp line drive to center field. Throw was offline. Indians have a 1-0 lead.
So Wigginton a single and out at second base, and Choo, and boy, what an arm. That was a rope.
You know, he said in the cold weather it still bothers him, but other than that, it didn't seem to bother him today when it's 70 degrees.
Knocks it down. Watch the frozen rope he threw. You could have hung out 2 weeks worth of laundry on this.
Yeah, about 1.5 steps.
Ooh. It's a long strike. Scott got around on it. He singled his first time up. The most assists outfield right fielders. Ordonez is back throwing again. Chu has now tied him. Zobrist is third. Exciting player, offensively and defensively.
Can do everything.
1-1 delivery to Luke Scott. Breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike from Westbrook. So the Orioles pick up their fifth hit, but don't have anybody on the base paths to show for it. Ty Wigginton got robbed of an extra base hit and 2 RBIs by Sizemore's first time up. Then gets a single and gets thrown out by Chu his second time up. Scott nubs that one away and walks away talking to himself. He's hitting 5 of the last 6. He's had 10 hits in his last 24 at-bats. And has picked up 8 RBIs in those 6 games.
So they know he's hot. And what do you want him to do? Look at the home runs in May this year. I mean, the Orioles up there, Toronto, of course, they hit 5 in a game the other night.
Just out of the reach of Cabrera. And a base hit. So Scott is 2 for 2 in the ball game.
And that's what you want him to do when he's red hot. You want to, where can I go to keep him in the ballpark? I tell you what, when Luke Scott starts using the whole field, it just tells me he's staying on the ball. I mean, almost all the great left-handed hitters, whether it was Mo Vaughn or whether it was Mattingly or Paul O'Neill when he won his batting title with the Yankees, Eddie Murray was hitting left-handed, they all tell you they stay closed. And it's almost like that front shoulder goes to left center field and then you just trust your hands. And the way they teach those front arm drills now, you're still able to be quick enough to get to the inside pitch, but you can't hit the ball away if you open up. And Luke now all of a sudden has got great balance at the plate.
Scott's 5th hit and 10 at bats against the Indians. Well, the Orioles now 6 hits in the ball game, but looking for the extra base hit, all singles. Atkins struck out his first time up. Runner at first and 1 down. Atkins hitting at 250 and fouls that one into the dirt and back. So the Orioles, they've got 15 home runs this month. That is the 4th most. Compare that to Cleveland. Cleveland only 7. So Dave Trumley's ball club, led by Wigginton and Luke Scott, have been hitting some homers here.
Well, not a lot of speed. Last in stolen bases, and that usually tells you don't have a lot of foot speed. 5th in home runs.
1-1 delivery on the way. Cabrera, Rudzelanek, Brandon. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and only 3 batters faced in the inning. 1-0 Cleveland. Family, and come on out. For complete details, 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. It is Little League Day here at the ballpark, the second Little League Day, and hundreds of Little Leaguers on hand. They rarely eat anything when they're at the ballpark.
Big breakfast. Why eat at the ballpark? Look at this.
Mark Grutzelanek. Grutzelanek, 39 years old, a veteran, flied out his first time up in the ball game. Major League 290 career hitter. I mean, nothing wrong with those numbers. Indians, as we said, picked him up as a free agent during the offseason.
Well, I guess the irony is that both Westbrook and Mark had 11 games in the minor leagues trying to come back from knee surgery, so pretty much took all of last year off. Westbrook had, what, 3 starts in the minor leagues because of the elbow surgery.
There's the base hit, 6-game hit streak. Grutzelanek is on here in the 5th inning.
Well, there you go. I mean, he's look how efficient. 4 pitches in the 4th inning, 8 in the 2nd.
Man.
And of course, not a whole lot to work with.
RBI by Sizemore in the 3rd inning, the only run on the board. Orioles about hit the Indians 6-4. Here's Laporta. He grounded out his first time up, hitting just .212. He's trying to get things going. Laporta 103 against left-handers.
Yeah, Steve Smith, their third base coach, looking in the dugout just to see if they want to try to maybe hit and run or try to put the runners in motion. Certainly don't usually do it when the pitcher's ahead of the hitter.
Grutzelanek, the base runner, held by Atkins at first. And the 0-1 delivery. And that's going to miss inside for a ball. And Hendrickson goes to 1-1.
Of course, when you get a young hitter that's probably kind of pulling off the ball, a lot of times you make him a better hitter by putting the hit and run on, because it makes him focus on hitting through the ball instead of around it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Long look at Grutzelanek, not going. And that will tail away and be outside. Mark Hendrickson started in the rotation last year. He had 7 starts. It didn't work. And then 42 relief appearances where it did work. He ended up with 4 more starts at the end of the year as the need was there, but his role was in the bullpen and is this year. But David Hernandez out. A little muscle tightness in the throwing arm. 2-1 delivery, and that will miss down low, and the count goes to 3-1.
And I'm sure that Dave Tremblay and Rick Kranich, the Oriole pitching coach, will look, because when the control goes, that usually tells people that you're getting a little tired. And again, this is not a game where you kind of breeze along when you're trailing 1-0. Every pitch has meant a lot.
Laporta has worked it to 3-1. Grutzelanek, the leadoff runner. And that is tagged to center field. Jones going back at the warning track wall, and goodbye home run. Laporta delivers the long ball. It's good for 2 RBIs, and the Indians have a 3-0 lead. His first home run of the season.
Well, that's why they got him. CC Sabathia over to the Brewers, former #1 draft choice, 2007. Out of the University of Florida. Big, strong guy that has been struggling this year. We saw him hit a home run last year against the Orioles, and he had some very good series. So big and strong.
3rd home run surrendered by Mark Hendrickson. 2 hit by right-handers, and Cleveland gets another big blow, as they did late in the ball game last night, using the long ball.
You know, the count has a lot to do with it. 3 balls and 1 strike. You can look for your pitch. He got it. He gets number 1.
The Indians came into this ball game last in the league in homers. They now have 21 on the year. Marson had a single. He scored his first time up. 1-1 delivery to him. Breaking ball that will miss. Indians and Orioles offense is very similar. 11th and 10th in average, 12th and 13th in runs. Very little differential. The Orioles have had the advantage in homers, tied for 5th in the league. 2-1 delivery, and that one's going to go to center, and Hendrickson may be out of gas.
Yep. Well, everything's staying up behind Laporta. Grutzelanek had another good at bat. Of course, he almost always does. And then Marson today, you know, catch throw guy all of a sudden is 2 for 2. Gets a breaking ball that's up in the strike zone.
Little time may be needed for the bullpen here, so Rick Kranitz will head out. Three runs on 6 hits for the Indians. And the leadoff single, Grudzielanek, and the follow-up home run by Laporta, and then a single by Marston to put Hendrickson in a jam here. Matt Albers in the bullpen getting ready. Worked just a third of an inning in the ball game last night. And back to the top of the order against Cabrera. Cabrera 1 for 2 in the game, 2 for 11 in the series. Hitting at .293 right now. Runner on at first base. And Cabrera will take the pitch down low for a ball. The Orioles caught this Indians team turning up the offense. 15 games, hitting .279, averaging over 4.5 runs a ball game during the last 15. They had not been hitting at all prior to that. Shattered the bat to third. Tejada up. There's one relay and a nice pick made by Wigginton. That throw kind of took Wigginton right into the runner, but he got over it.
Yeah, I tell you what, again, you want to have that soft front side so you can get over the runner. And it looks like for some reason they're going to pinch hit for Grady Sizemore.
So Trevor Crowe is going to come on to hit for Sizemore. Crowe last night just called up, home run.
Yeah, he also got a single his first 2 times up. Made a nice play in center field. Perfect timing.
Not sure why Sizemore is coming out of the ball game. He had grounded out and picked up a single and an RBI. So Crowe with 2 down, pinch hits, the 0-1 delivery to him. Gonna have to hustle Lugo. And got him. But the big blow, Laporta delivers his first home run of the season, a 2 RBI shot, and it's 3-0 Indians. Here today with all the little leagues, and this young lady who came out to steal second base, as each Sunday a youngster gets a chance. Grudzielanek was coming to help her, but she got it herself. And then came up for a curtain call and a standing ovation. Way to go, number 10.
23 seconds.
Trevor Crowe stays in center. That one goes to right. Tatum's on with the base hit. Chew over to get it. Tatum's seen this act before. He stays at first.
Yeah, down by 3 runs. You're not going anywhere. Again, a nice hitting approach by Craig Tatum. 2 for 2 now.
Orioles 3 out of 5 leadoff men have been on against Westbrook. Lugo, and then the top of the order, Patterson coming up. Julio Lugo, ground ball to second, only a second at bat in this series, 0 for 2. Jake Westbrook hasn't walked anybody, and he has struck out 5. Lugo will take it for his strike. 7 strikeouts this season, twice by Westbrook, his high. He did that against Detroit and against the Angels.
Well, Tim Belcher, the pitching coach, his whole point about Jake Westbrook is that when you miss a whole year, actually a year and a half, it takes a while to get your rhythm back. So it's not about arm strength. I mean, he said he's strong. I mean, spring training, he was throwing the ball all the way up to 94 miles per hour. But today, he's been 89, 90, and the ball's sinking. So that may be a better velocity for him.
He's gotten the ground ball out, so he's looking for one right here. Here's the 0-1 delivery to Lugo, and that'll catch the outside corner.
Yeah, he's really mixed his pitches up well. We've seen the change-ups to the lefties, the sliders to the righties, and you mentioned Lugo bounced out to second base his last time up. And again, he's 3 for 32 against righties. He just made a great pitch and made him hit it on the ground.
0-2 count, and went around and knew it. There's strikeout number 6 as Lugo is retired. Join the Orioles, the University of Maryland Medical Center, and the American Red Cross. It's the Orioles Blood Drive Saturday, May 22, 8 to 4 on the club level here at Camden Yards. Jim's going to be there. You'll have a chance to meet him. There'll be a replica Jim Palmer jersey, 2 tickets to an upcoming game, and a chance to win a VIP experience with Jim. Call 410-764-7000. That's for May 22, Saturday. Corey Patterson, runner on at first base now and 1 down. Corey has struck out twice in the ball game after being held without a hit in an 0 for 4 last night to end his 3-game hit streak. 1-0 delivery. Westbrook jammed him. Fights it off for a 1-ball-1-strike count.
Well, they advanced the scouts because he came up and he hit a series of fastballs for singles, doubles, and home runs. And if you have people that can pitch, and Talbot certainly could do that last night. I mean, he changed speeds with the best of them with a great changeup and cutters in. And here's Westbrook with a changeup. He struck him out the last time. Threw him, what, 4 out of the 6 pitches. Here's your cutter in, or your slider, whatever you want to call it.
Westbrook trying to pick up some of the pace with Mitch Talbot getting the victory last night. He and Fausto Carmona, who the Orioles have not faced in the series. Carmona and Talbot are 9-3 combined. Everybody else is 2-11. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that just misses. He wanted that call. Westbrook staring in, didn't get it. And the count goes to 3-1 on Patterson.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many of these situations, Gary, where he actually now with a 3-run lead has got to maybe aim a little bit more for the middle of the game. Very rarely has he got behind our Oriole hitters today.
3-1 delivery, and he walked him. There's the first walk surrendered. So the Orioles here in the 5th have runners at first and second, only 1 away. Adam Jones coming up. Westbrook has walked 20 in 42 innings.
Obviously a little higher than you'd like, but again, I think that goes back to the inactivity.
Well, Adam Jones.
Well, he had the bunt the first time, Gary, and they're playing him way back. Right now, I think probably Manny Acta is telling Johnny Peralta third. He's probably looking more to try to drive something, hit a double or a home run, get the Orioles back in the game.
Jones only 208 with runners in scoring position this year. Adam wants to get that up there and get a few RBIs out of that 2 spot. Last season, he finished up with a very fine 311 with runners in scoring position. So 100 points plus lower so far this year. 1-0 count. Indians have the 3-0 lead. And a chopper to second. Grutz-Alanek to Cabrera to Brandon. And the double play that has taken the Orioles out of so many innings this year rises again in the 5th. It remains 3-0 Cleveland. able to go, and it was give us what you got, according to the skipper. And we'll see. He's going to try for one more.
Yeah, and we look at quality starts. Guthrie leads it. 4 out of his first 5 starts were quality. Mattis with another quality starter last night. 7 shutout innings. Millwood's been good, but still nothing to show for it. If he gets out of this inning without giving up a run, it would be a quality start. And I tell you what, probably the only thing he's really going to look back at is getting behind Matt Laporta. That 3-1 fastball that he hit over the center field fence, that was 2 quick runs.
And showing bunt is Chu. Chu has flied out, hit into a fielder's choice. A couple of hits in 9 at-bats here in the series for the right fielder for the Indians. A 1-0 count. Swinging away this time, and a base hit to right. So Chu is on leadoff single in the 6th. 3 out of 6 leadoff men have been on for the Indians.
Well, there is your box score, and again, the ones that have hurt, Marson gets on. He scores on the base hit by Sizemore, who's now out of the game, and it's the 47th. They have a 47% chance with 2 outs of scoring all their runs. They're one of the best teams in the American League. So Dave Tremblay's figuring, well, let's match up against Chu, even though, as we told you, Hendrickson doesn't get lefties out. Probably not as good as he gets righties.
That's going to be it for Mark Hendrickson, the left-hander. And Matt Albers will come on here in the 6th inning.
So again, plenty of rest, and his numbers have come down. Really struggled early on, and since then he has been very effective. So let's see if he can slam the door here, which is certainly what Dave Tremblay and he wants to do.
Indians trying to add to it. Leadoff single here in the 6th inning by Chu. Kearns 0 for 2. Takes it for a strike. He has been called out on strikes and grounded out.
Yeah, I think Austin Kearns wants to remind Dan Iasaga, I'm a little taller than you think I am, because he keeps calling that low strike. He said, get one up. I'm a high ball hitter.
Here's the 0-1 delivery to him. Inside, Kearns 0 for a couple of at-bats against Albers. 1 ball, 1 strike count, hitting .326. Kearns, one of the hot bats in the lineup with a 7-game hit streak.
Well, and you talked about 2 non-roster guys, Rudolanics and also Austin Kearns, but many active. I mean, having been a third base coach with the Mets and then managing in Washington, he saw Rudolanic, and then he knows Kearns because he played for him, and he was hurt. Elbow problems 2 years ago, thumb problems. But when he's healthy, he can help you a lot of ways.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Pretty good lead over there by Chu. And a chopper only play at first. Lugo. It'll move Chu down to second base. And the ground ball out for Kearns, who is now 0 for 3. We are told Grady Sizemore came out of the ball game with a left knee contusion. That could have been suffered on the fine catch he made in the first inning against Wigginton, or perhaps later on the play at second base he was involved in the third. Don't know, but he's out of there, and Trevor Crowe is in center field. Here's Russell Branyan. He has grounded out to first base twice in the ball game. Runner on at second. Indians have been efficient in this ball game and getting people around. They've left only a couple on base in the game. Sweeping breaking ball. And a 1-0 count. Tatum had to go a long way to find that one.
Yeah, made a nice job. And of course, one of the important acquisitions is not on the field. That's Jeff Datz, who's a bench coach, but he's a former catcher. So he keeps working not only with Craig Tatum, but certainly Matt Wieters, who's made tremendous strides. And, you know, being 6'5" and being able to give a low target and handle a young pitching staff, a lot of it has to go to Jeff with preparation.
New bench coach for the Orioles.
And it's amazing because he was here at Cleveland, and then you know, the last couple of days during batting practice, you could see everybody how much respect they have, all coming over to say hello and talk. There's a good pitch right there, runs it right at him, and then comes back and hits the inside corner. And it wasn't just a casual, hey, Jeff, how you doing? It was a conversation with just about all the players. And he was not only a coach, but for Eric Wedge, a couple of years ago, they did tie for the most wins in the major leagues with 97.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery, runner off second. And that's going to miss outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Branyan. Cleveland team trying to put itself back together again. And the act-up, as we said, running that fine line of playing veterans and youngsters each and every day, trying to find the right combination to win and still give the youngsters a chance to play. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Pick off at second. That one just block it, and that's what Lugo did.
Yeah, and Albers he makes a perfect pitch again. You know, he throws usually a 2-seam fastball, and he throws it right at him. And then right here, just trying to make sure the runner doesn't get too big a lead, try to pick him off. There it is, runs back.
Chu gets back to the bag. Now 2 down. Peralta's struck out and flied to center. And we'll take the breaking pitch on the outside corner for a strike from Matt Albers.
Yeah, that's a new pitch that Matt has been really having a lot of success with, but he worked on it all spring long, which was a slider. So it's a little bit harder at 88 than his curveball, but a little slower than the fastball that's usually in the low 90s.
That one to short will go up. And that will do it. So despite a leadoff single, the Indians did not convert. No runs a hit. Base runner left on. 3-0 Cleveland.
Orioles ahead, but Sizemore robbing him of a double. Right here, Sizemore with a single. And the Indians go up 1-0, and then they add another 2 on Matt Laporta's first home run of the year. Westbrook trying to make it 2 in a row, has not won since April until last week, April of 2008. And if you look at the game summary, Westbrook's pitched a great game. Hendrickson certainly kept him in. Laporta with the big home run. And for the Orioles, Craig Tatum didn't get to play much, but a couple of singles this afternoon.
1 strikeout on Nick Markakis. Westbrook gets the ground ball fair. Good play by Branyan. He'll go to the bag himself and get the out. Markakis an 0 for 3. One away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kansas City Royals are coming to town. 2-game set. Brad Bergeson and Kyle Davies will kick it off tomorrow. Kansas City Ball Club that has not played that well overall when you look at their record, but be careful. Their batting average is 3rd best in the league, even though they are 10th in runs. ERA pitching's been a real problem. They, of course, have a new manager, as Ned Yost has taken over. The veteran who had moved to the front office of the Royals this year comes back down to the bench. So Yost will bring the Royals in for 2. Tejada a single, and he is grounded out. 3 hits in the series, 3 for 10. And that one away, 1-1.
A lot of singles. And, of course, what is Westbrook? He's a sinker baller. Of course, he's also thrown the slider and the changeup, but he's kept the ball in the ballpark, and he kept the Orioles away from hitting doubles. And the one thing they do well is hit home runs. Orioles came in the 5th in home runs.
Down to first again. Branyan flashing the leather. Couple of ground balls to him.
Well, he struggled on Friday night, but today he looks like a gazelle. Cal doing the game tonight, too?
Up close and personal.
Cal's here. Good to see him.
2 down. Each team's got 7 hits in the ball game, but the Indians have the 3 runs. Laporta's 2 RBI homer and the RBI single. You saw it from Sizemore, who's now out of the ball game. Ty Wigginton, he's had a tough day. He got robbed on that catch by Sizemore, which was really a turning point in the game. That falls in. The Orioles get a couple of runs in the 1st inning. And then got a single in the 4th, and Chu threw him out from right field as he tried to stretch it into a double. 1-0 delivery to Ty is fouled away. Home run hitters. O's with 6 or more in April and May. Kenny Singleton, Cal, Brady Anderson with the big number there. Tony Bautista, Miguel Tejada, and now Ty Wigginton. That one's a base hit. Not going to be denied. 2 for 3 in the ball game, a 2-out single.
But again, the single because of the sinker baller. Boy, it's a luxury, and seen a lot of guys over the course of broadcasting and whatever. They look like you're always in the game, but they keep throwing those grounders, and you have to put a sustained offensive attack on, and that's sometimes difficult to do.
So Wigginton on at first base. The Orioles get their 8th hit, and Luke Scott's got 2 of them. Scott has 2 singles,
and they're both to the opposite field. Not that he can't hit home runs. The grand slam on Thursday was to left center field.
Tough to yank that pitch down and away, and an 0-1 count. Orioles have the anomaly of a .241 batting average against right-handers and .270 against left, but they can't beat left-handers. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way. That breaking ball he does not go after, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, and the slugging percentage is not that much difference. I wonder if that factors in if you took the record and then you took how well your pitching staff pitched that day too. It certainly has to be part of the equation, you would think. Can't all be offense.
1-1 delivery on the way, and that's taken inside.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to, if you're like Cleveland is 3-9 coming in against left-handed starters. Well, what is their earned run average that day for their pitchers? And you know, it's at 6 runs a game. You may not hit them well, but it may not all be offense. It could be a combination of both of those things. And Belcher looking on. Not his fault, of course.
Why does that change the fact you're not doing well against left-handers?
Well, because maybe your pitching's not.
No, we're not talking about a one-loss record. We're talking about batting average.
Well, I understand what I'm talking about.
That one popped up to second. Grutzalani goes back to get it, and we'll put it away. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base, and it remains a 3-0 Indians lead.
Confidence today after last night's blown save, saying that he will continue to run him out there as the team's everyday closer. Right now, though, Dave doesn't have a lot of options, save maybe Koji Uehara, but that could change as Mike Gonzalez is getting closer to a return. He's expected to throw to live batting practice down in Sarasota tomorrow. Then on Thursday, he'll pitch an inning in a extended spring training game, so he could be back soon. Also, Brian Roberts is heading down to Florida as well in a couple of days. He's starting to hit off a tee, and they want him to go down there to increase his baseball activities and continue his rehab there. Gary?
You know, looking at Brian before the game today, Samuel came out early and was hitting ground balls. So he's hitting off the tee, as Amber said, and also taking some ground balls on the field now.
And again, the target day would be what, June 9th is the first day he could come off the 60-day disabled list. Well, really plenty of time to find out if the back is, because it was kind of a rush job. Spring training was about a week.
Ground ball to short off the bat of Grutzalani, played by Lugo. Grutzalani 1 for 3 in the ball game, 7th inning and 1 down. Matt Albers coming on in the last inning to get the side out. Mark Hendrickson gave up 3 runs on 7 hits over 5+. He did not walk anybody and struck out 2. Mark's 1-0 in the season, his first start today, this year, anyway. David Hernandez unable to go with a little muscle soreness, expected to be back for his next start. Laporte, a big hit, the DH, a home run. It came in the 5th inning, his first of the year, and good for a couple of RBIs.
See, it really doesn't matter who pitches on the day that David Hernandez is supposed to pitch. The Orioles just don't get a lot of runs those days.
David, of course, has gone 16 without a win going back to last year. You know he'd like to be out there pitching and get rid of that. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Laporta. Jake Arrieta, Chris Tillman pitching in the minors. Their numbers being watched carefully by the Orioles. If David Hernandez can't get things going.
We have both of them losing this week. I think against Buffalo, who must have a pretty good team because they played very well against the Tides down in Norfolk. And then Arrieta a little bit wild the other night, something that he's still trying to deal with.
Good pitch by Albers to jam him in a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
I'm thinking about Matt Albers when he's on his game, and we've already seen the slider and the breaking ball. He's got the ball that will move all over the place.
Orioles have not won a series against the Indians since 2004. They've got a chance to do it if they can come back and win this one today. The Orioles will face Cleveland again in Cleveland second week in August for a 3-game set as part of a road trip with Tampa Bay included.
The difficulty, of course, is the back end of the Indian bullpen pretty good. We saw Sip last night. Chris Perez hasn't given up a run in 10 appearances, and then Kerry Wood is back.
Albers will take it full. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Laporta. 1 away here in the 7th. Indians are 3 wins, 2 losses on their current 8-game road trip. They're going to go to Tampa Bay to take on the Rays. Rays are playing at home against Seattle. They came back with a comeback win yesterday. 3-2 delivery, shattered the bat. Tejada up with it and gets the out.
Yeah, bat head all the way about maybe 25 feet behind third base, and then other shards into foul territory. Well, movement of the ball, if you don't center it, they explode. And that ball way up on the trademark. I mean, you're holding one part of the bat, one goes left and one goes, what, about 110 feet?
So 2 down here in the 7th inning.
A lot of strange games yesterday. The Red Sox, they give Lester what, a 6-run, 5-run lead. He can't hold it. They've walked 12 times, can't win in one game. Lose in extra innings.
Detroit beating them today in the 7th, 5-1. Yankees trying to wipe out Minnesota. They're 3-1 in the 7th over the Twins.
Twins haven't won in Yankee Stadium in 12 straight games.
Yep.
That's just amazing.
Andy Pettitte coming back after an arm problem he had with the Orioles. Won another one. He and Muse now both 5-0 for the Yankees as starters. 1-1 delivery to Marson, swung out and missed. It's only the 4th time in 50 years Yankees have had 2 pitchers start 5-0 at the start of the season. Castillo up in the bullpen, just called up today with Ryan Hughes down. Marson at the bottom of the order, 2 singles and a run scored. And the 1-2 pitch, foul tipped and held on to. Albers with a good inning. Tires the side in order. Indians up. Laporta had the 2 RBI homer in the 5th.
pitches for Jake Westbrook, but he's trying to do what he hadn't done since, April of 2008. Winning 2 games in a row. It took him, a year and a half because of the injury. So, again, you got to hit some home runs. I mean, and he's not throwing balls in the air today, so very difficult to elevate the ball off him.
That sinker working, and again, the double plays that have bothered the Orioles all season long that have ended innings where they might have had a chance to get some runs have happened again today. So he's gotten the sinker ball working when he's needed.
Well, he really has, and you saw it a couple innings ago. Adam Jones got him into a hitter's count, and then when he had a couple of pitches to work with, still went after the low pitch. You have to give Westbrook credit for being able to execute those pitches, but Adam chased it, ended up hitting a double play ball, and then you're out of an inning and a chance to score.
Garrett Atkins at the plate. Jake Westbrook has walked 1, struck out 6. The starter for the Indians. Atkins has hit into a double play and has struck out. Atkins at 248. And Garrett will take the pitch away, and 2-1. Atkins 1 hit in 5 at bats here in the series. Tatum and then Lugo, bottom third of the order, up for the Orioles, bottom of the 7th, as the Indians looking to take the series. And another ground ball. Cabrera. Atkins is retired and 1 away. Join the Orioles reach on the Maryland Food Bank, the 24th annual food drive, June 4, 5, and 6. You can bring donations and non-perishable food items to the park that weekend, or there is a virtual food drive at marylandfoodbank.org/Orioles. If you go there, you can enter to win free tickets for the June 4 game and a chance even to throw out the first pitch. Goes to the soup kitchens, food pantries, and emergency shelters throughout Maryland. 888-848-BIRD or marylandfoodbank.org/Orioles. Hard hit ball to short. Cabrera. Tatum retired. He'd had a couple of singles in the ball game, and there are 2 outs quickly here in the 7th.
Well, great to play behind a pitcher like Jake Westbrook, because he's only walked 1. That was back in the 5th inning. So if you're a shortstop or anybody playing defense, it keeps you on your toes. Nice play by Cabrera. Quick 2 outs here.
2 down, nobody on. See if Lugo takes a couple here to try and make Westbrook have to throw a little bit. He does. And it is a strike. Lugo's had an 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. Orioles 10-9 in their last 19 ball games. Trying to stay above that 500 mark in that regard. Tony Sipp loosening up in the pen. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Lugo on a big cut. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, it's almost, if you're going to play Lugo, because he struggled so much against right-handed pitching, you have to play him against lefties, because he's just not hitting righties. And Asturis, Cesar 214 against left-handed pitching, and against righties, about 110 points higher, but still barely over 200. And again, maybe this is one of the reasons why the Orioles are 13th in run score, just not getting a lot of production to the bottom of their lineup yet.
And that's going to miss outside. 1-ball, 2-strike count on Lugo. Westbrook, 86 pitches thrown in the ball game. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Lugo takes it, and that's going to miss outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kansas City tomorrow night. Brad Bergeson trying to get his 4th win. Kyle Davies 2-2 for the Royals. Only a 2-game series to wrap up this current homestand. 2-2 to Cabrera, and he's gone. So that's going to take care of Lugo. He is out of there, and it remains a 3-0 Indians.
It seemed like thousands driving in.
They paraded around the field for close to an hour before the game today. Here's Cabrera. Cabrera leading it off here in the 8th inning. He is single 1 for 3 in the ball game. That's Dribble Cabrera at .291, held to just a couple of hits in 12 at bats against the Orioles.
Yeah, they've done a nice job, and he is a switch hitter, so he tests you from both sides of the plate. Matt Albers has been very good.
Diving for it. Nice play, Wigginton.
Well, you know, he was talking, and we've talked about it the last couple of nights, is that when you get people commanding your stuff, and Matt Albers has done it, he's now retired 7 in a row, you can kind of cheat a little bit. And again, right here, Cabrera, the other night off of Guthrie, hit 3 straight ground balls to tie at second base. Nice play right there, ranging to his left.
And that will bring up Trevor Crowe, his second at bat. He grounded out his first time up. Called up yesterday. Andy Marte went on the DL. Crowe delivered a home run. Albers' pitch to him is in there for a strike. Crowe is at AAA, where he's hitting .257. 3 doubles, 6 RBIs in a dozen games. Albers, the 0-1. And Crowe will take it for a strike. Sizemore out with a bruised left knee. Sizemore, though, a big part of the game. He got an RBI single. He robbed Wigginton of the big 2 RBIs in that first inning before coming out. 0-2 count on Crowe. And the breaking ball will miss down low.
Well, that was that was your offense right there. Chance to score 2. Ball tailing away from Grady. Made a great play in right center field off the bat of Wigginton. Really changes your perception of a starting pitcher when you give up 2 runs in the first inning. You've got to struggle the rest of the game. But for Westbrook, that's pretty much the only jam he's been in.
1-2 delivery. Chopper into right field for a base hit. And Crowe is on with a single with 1 down here in the 8th inning. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Westbrook going after his second win. The Cleveland starter's still out there. Laporta, the 2 RBI homer in the game. And Tatum, who's had a 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. That will be it for Matt Albers, by the looks of it. As Dave Tremblay is on his way out, and Castillo recalled today, the left-hander is going to come up with Sin-Soo Choo coming to the plate. 8th inning, Cleveland leads it 3-0. Brought to you by Chili's. Why? Because it's all in the preparation. Castillo comes out of the bullpen, left-hander.
Yeah, and his job, and he first 3 appearances this year, had a good spring, but comes up, and they were scoreless. And the next 3, he did give up runs, but has to do a little bit better job lefties, and that's who he's going to face in Chu, who hits lefties very well at almost 300. 5 for 13. That number has to come down, especially if you're going to be a situational guy.
One down, runner at first base. Chu, a .298 hitter off left-handers. There are the numbers for Castillo against lefties and righties. And Chu will take the first pitch for a ball. Chu's delivered a single, third hit of the series, 1 for 3. Crow got the single to take Albers out. Albers 2 1/3 innings. That's the first hit he had given up. A couple of strikeouts, no walks for Matt Albers. Keeping a very tight eye on Chu over there at first base. Crow rather at first. Chu checking down to third, see if he might be running. Pretty good lead. And a chopper to short. Lugo, Wigginton. And over there in time. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Orioles. Orioles trying to make a comeback before those two match up tomorrow. Jake Westbrook, the starter, still on. Top of the order for the Orioles. Patterson has struck out twice and drawn a walk. The only walk surrendered by Westbrook. But the double play took Patterson off the base paths in the 5th. So Corey now 6 hits in his 19 at bats since coming up to the club. Peralta's in at third. And the pitch is going to miss inside, 2-0. There is Chris Perez in the bullpen.
And we got a lefty, Raphael, we saw on Friday.
Patterson straight back with it. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, again, the luxury of a 3-0 lead, so you could challenge a guy when you get behind him. Most pitches, he has 91 now. He's been 105. That was in his second start. And that win the other night, 103 pitches.
That one deep, but it's in the yard. And Crow will haul that one in. Patterson retired. Vote for your favorite O's for the 2010 All-Star Game at Orioles.com. You could win the Vote Orioles VIP Experience All-Star Sweepstakes. Lucky winner, 4 tickets to an upcoming game, VIP parking, on-field access for batting practice, a meet and greet with the O's All-Stars, and a personalized All-Star Game batting practice jersey. Just get the details at Orioles.com/All-Star. Jones a single. He's 1 for 3. Orioles have stranded 4 in scoring position today. 4 of the 6 that they have had on base. Breaking ball. Did he go? Check it first. No. Dale Scott down there. Adam got a single his first time up.
Yeah, the last time bounced into a double play, one of the two that the Orioles have hit.
One delivery on the way. Jones off the end of the bat to short. Cabrera's got this, guns it.
Well, an array of quality pitches for Jake Westbrook, whether it's the change, whether it's the sinker, or right there, the slider.
Westbrook going after his 4th career win against the Orioles. He's got 2 down here in the 8th inning, and Nick Markakis. Maybe Nick's last chance to extend his hit streak, which is at 5 games. He has taken the 0 for 3 in this ball game, and that is in there for a strike. Markakis had 296, couple of home runs, and 12 RBIs on the year. Strikeout victim, grounded out twice. 1 ball, 1 strike count from Westbrook. Westbrook, this will be the 98th pitch that he has thrown today. That's going to be outside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. He did get in the full spring training to get ready for this season, and looking to win his 2nd against 2 losses. 2-1 delivery. Markakis a chopper. Westbrook will make the play himself as Markakis goes by. Well, that sinker working. Couple of ground balls again here in the 8th inning, retiring the side in order. Grab your bag. It's on. Castillo stays on to face Austin Kearns. Kearns will take it for a strike. We go to the 9th inning. Kearns 0 for 3. His 7-game hit streak in jeopardy here. That one in the air to right. Nick Markakis glasses on near the wall, and it hits the base of the wall. Chance for 3 on this, but Kearns will stop. And Nick misplayed that one. You won't see that very often.
Yeah,
he thought that ball was further back than it was.
Yeah, and I think the sun had something to do with it. The wind maybe blowing that way. And right there, I think he just thinks he runs out of warning track, and he does it. And obviously, if it goes over your head and you're there, it's only going to probably be a double anyway if Jones is backing him up, which he was. So certainly not an easy play, but one that he usually gets back and catches.
10th double of the season. Chance to add those all-important runs late in a ball game now with a leadoff double by Kearns and an 8-game hit streak for him. And that one in the air to right field, and Nick Markakis will just watch this one. Goodbye home run. Russell Branyan. A 2 RBI homer, and it is a 5-0 lead.
Well, that's his 3rd home, actually make it the 4th home run of the week. hit 3 in Kansas City. So the Royals who will come in, they certainly know about it.
That's our 4th drive of the game on this swing.
You know, look at the breaking ball. It just stays on the inside middle. I remember Paul O'Neill, when they won a batting title, it said battingly taught him, hit the breaking ball at you. And that's exactly what Russell Branyan does.
Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford Drive 1. So Castillo rudely greeted on his return to the Orioles, and now Clay Meredith will come out of the bullpen.
Last night came in, and that was after the 3-run home run to Simone throws, and then he had been pitching very good, very well, and hadn't given up nowhere in runs over 8 innings in his last previous 11 appearances, but last night got hurt by the home run ball. 4 runs on the night.
And plate umpire trying to get the audio turned off.
Yeah, the one thing that Clay has struggled with, and he was actually better against lefties than righties last year. Numbers were good against both of them, but this year lefties are 6 for 17. Righties are all the way a little bit over 200. But if he doesn't sink it, and last night the sinker wasn't sinking, he's usually going to struggle.
Orioles have given up the 2nd most home runs this year as a pitching staff in the American League. 2 in this ball game. Laporta, and now Russell Branyan getting the long ball. The Indians, of course, came in not hitting home runs, but they certainly have done it the last couple of games. Peralta's got an 0 for 3, and he'll lash that one to the corner. Patterson gonna have to play this off the wall. And into second base with a double, and still nobody out here in the 9th inning. So a 6-game hit streak for Peralta. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Must be something about the 9th inning for the Indians at Camden Yards.
Well, it's a combination that they're swinging the bat well, and the Orioles are, I mean, none of these pitchers are low and away. You know, the Branyan home run was a slider that stayed up. The 3-run home run that turned the game around by Austin Kern was a splitter that hovered in the middle of the plate. It was a slider by Meredith to Crow when he hit his first home run of the year last night.
That's going to be up the middle. Chance for an RBI. Peralta is coming around. Got to play at the plate. Here's throw by Jones. It's there. He's out. Throw to second. And safe. Good Solano. Good throw. Adam Jones getting it in. Tatum applying the tag. Peralta retired.
Yeah, right through the wicket right there. And then Adam a chance to throw a runner out earlier. Throw is offline. Not this one. Got it there I guess it is off the line a little bit, but it got there so quickly. Strong throw on one hop by Adam.
So the Orioles continue that unusual number of 7 assists by the outfielders total in the year, and all 7 have come on plays at the plate. Here's Matt Laporta down to second base. Grutzelanek, he got a single and went there on the throw.
And Tatum having to reach back easily tags out Johnny Peralta in the chest region.
1-0 delivery. In for a strike to him. 12 hits now for the Indians in the ballgame. 5 runs on 12 hits. The Orioles, no runs on 8. And Laporta gets the RBI chance. Meredith coming inside to him. Laporta's home run came in the 5th inning, his first of the year. Grutzelanek led the inning off with a single, and Laporta followed with the long ball. 2-1. Rainmaker. I mean, right up the silo on this one. It's right in front of the mound. And Tejada comes in to put it away. 2 down.
Home run in Iowa.
Yep.
Straight up. Right there, Clay Meredith says, "You go ahead, Miguel, take it."
I don't want it.
No.
2 away. Runner still at second base. Grutzelanek. Lou Marson. Marson the catcher. 2 singles and a run scored. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game.
No, you were talking, Gary, about trying to rebuild, and this was one of the reasons. Came over from the Phillies in the Cliff Lee trade. We saw him at the end of last year. So obviously the batting average not what he wanted, but certainly calls a good game and excellent throwing arm. Quick release, accurate.
To second base, Wigginton. Marson is retired, but 2 more runs in on 3 hits here in the 9th inning. The Branyan 2 RBI homer makes it 5-0.
Game, but now back to Gary and Jim.
All right, gentlemen, let's see if the Orioles come out one of those big comebacks in the 9th inning. A 5-0 lead, and Westbrook's going to stay on to try and finish this ball game up.
You know, there you go. That was his last complete game. It was right around the last time he had won a game until earlier this week. Well, again, he's pitched a marvelous game. Pitch count a little bit over 100, and as you mentioned, Kerry Wood.
He's got an 8-hit shutout going here. His last shutout complete game came in 06, also against the Angels.
The other point you made, those extra runs certainly doesn't make it easy, but it certainly makes it less difficult. A little bit of margin to work with.
Tejada fouls it back. Tejada, Wigginton, and Scott. Update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game right now. Tatum on top. Text in your vote A, B, or C to 51862. The results coming up in the O's Extra post-game show. Westbrook could be 2-2 if he can get it. Hendrickson 1-1 if the Orioles don't come back. 6 left on by the O's, 4 for the Indians. Tejada's had a single, 1 for 3. The Orioles don't come back. It'll even up this homestand at 3-3 with the 2 games left against Kansas City and improve Cleveland's road trip to 4-2 as they head to Tampa. 1 ball, 2 strikeout.
And not many opportunities. Yeah. But, you know, the bunt base hit in the first by Jones. Miggy hit a ball right between first and second, and then Sizemore robbed Wigington of a double.
And another squiggler. Salonic. 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ty Wigington, a couple of hits, 2 for 3. That decisive play by Sizemore in the first inning still stands.
Well, I only have 2 balls in the air all afternoon, other than you couple those with the strikeouts. All 7 of them. Only 1 walk.
2 double plays.
Yep. It's pretty much the way a sinker baller pitches. But it's not really just been about the sinker. He's had a good changeup, made some great pitches with a slider. People in Cleveland got to be happy about this, even if he doesn't end up pitching a complete game. And this is getting back to where he was when they gave him the 3-year deal. 14, 15 wins a year, keep you in ball games. You don't have to score 6, 7 runs to have your starter win a ball game for you.
And a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Well, the Orioles offense, after getting the 8 runs on 14 hits behind Jeremy Guthrie in that first game, and this one just have not been able to get it going. That'll be 8 strikeouts for him, and there are 2 down here in the 9th. And Luke Scott coming up. 29,323 the announced attendance. 29323 on Little League Day here at Camden Yards. And the Orioles in danger of being shut out for the 4th time as the Indians look as a team to get their 2nd shutout of the season. Luke Scott 2 singles and he is popped out. Scott with a big cut on Westbrook.
And if baseball is a game of momentum, that 8-run inning really kind of detoured any momentum the Orioles had last night. Boy, you win that ball game, you come out today, I mean, you still got to beat. Then Sizemore doesn't make the play in the first inning, and you think you're going to win. But a huge loss last night. Never automatic with only 2 runs. But it's a game you certainly would have liked to have won, and the Indians did win, and this guy pitches this type of game today.
2 down, 9th inning. Orioles been shut out by Toronto 3-0, the Yankees 4-0, and Minnesota 6-0, and are trailing in this one 5-0. 2-1 delivery on the way. Scott will take that outside, and a 3-ball 1-strike count from Westbrook. Westbrook trying to finish it up himself. 111 pitches thrown. 3-1 delivery on the way, and the count will go full, 3-2. Orioles had their best chances in the first 2 innings when they got a couple on in each, with 2 down in the first and 1 down in the second. But Westbrook got the big outs, and since then he's kind of moseyed along with an occasional single and a walk mixed in. No real good chances. 3-2 delivery in the air, left center field, hit hard and deep, way back, and goodbye home run and goodbye shutout. A 5-1 ball game as Scott delivers the long ball.
Well, Luke Scott talked about coming up in the minor leagues, and he came through Round Rock. He learned to hit the ball because in Round Rock, Texas, that's where the ball carried. Huge ballpark, especially to right field. This is where his power was. We saw the grand slam on Thursday. We saw the first 2 hits to left field. So all 3 hits, including this home run the other way today. And that's a good sign.
So 2 down in the 9th. Westbrook loses his shutout.
And I always found when you get the 2 outs, boy, you really have to kind of just calm your way down because you can't get ahead of yourself. You want that third out, and you want it bad. But it's, again, I mean, you got to do what you've done all day, which is just to keep the ball out of the middle of the plate. And Luke Scott just takes a pitch and goes the other way, and all of a sudden there goes your shutout.
First left-hander to have the home run off Westbrook this season. Orioles' 9th hit of the ball game, and first extra base hit of the game. 2-1 delivery on the way, and a chopper played by Cabrera. The tag put on, and this one's in the books. A 5-1 victory, a complete game win, 13th of his career, as the Indians take the series 2-1 with a 5-1 win. And that will do it for this series. 2 more to go in the homestand. It'll be Brad Ferguson taking the mound against Kyle Davies tomorrow. Our coverage on MASN 2 HD begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by your local Ford dealer, followed by game coverage at 7. For Jim Palmer and Amberthea Harris and our great crew here at Camden Yards, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We bid you adieu. The telecast of MASN presentation. How it all came down. Jim and Rick O's Extra right now.